Hey y'all, thank you for tuning in to Barbecue's very first podcast. A little about us. We started off as a homoerotic art publication, but have since decided to create this podcast. This podcast will talk about everything from sex to relationships and even general topics relating to the LGBTQ plus community. With that being said, we did start this podcast via Zoom, as you all know that COVID is real and ain't nobody trying to catch shit. Either way, going forward, we will be sitting side by side, talking to each other face to face. So it's sure to get interesting. All we ask is that you have no judgments, as, yo, it's 2020 and ain't nobody got time for that. Holla. So let's start by introducing ourselves. I'm Alexander Jamal, or Jamal, whichever you prefer. I am the director of Barbecuer magazine. I started off in fashion, but other than that, I am just an outspoken individual. I couldn't give a fuck what people think about me, and that's why I wanted to start this podcast, because I'm like, we all have a sex life, we all have an opinion, so shit, let's fucking talk about it. How about you guys?
Okay, well, my name is Jay-Ho, and I am a flight attendant. Obviously, not now with the current situation, but in my spare time, I like to travel and drink.
I'm sorry, right, but okay. Jay.
Okay, hi, my name is Jay. I'm a theater artist. I do burlesque. I like to drink and I like to talk.
I'm so mad at you guys. Anyway, so then let's just jump straight into the icebreaker. So my thing is with the icebreaker, you have to answer the question. Okay, there is no none. Okay, I'll answer the question as well.
Yeah.
But I'll go last because I wrote the questions, obviously. But you have to pick one. Okay, it's a game of would you rather.
Deal.
Cool.
Okay.
Awesome. So let's see. Would you rather a dude whose fetish was to fuck animals or corpses?
I would say corpses just because then I wouldn't have to see it. You know, like I have a cat, so I'd get like nervous that he would like try to fuck my cat. So corpses at least is like out of sight, out of mind, you know.
Okay. J-O.
I'm gonna say, oh my God, I'm gonna say animals because I don't know, just something about dead people and the rotting. No, I would say animals, even though both are quite disturbing.
No, it'd be awful because then he fucks you after, you know. It's just like which one is worse?
Uh,
Oh my God.
I never thought about him fucking afterwards. I was gonna say animals as well, only because at least the shit's alive. You know what I mean? And then, like, to me, you have to be like a different level of, I'm just gonna say disgusting to fuck a corpse, because like the first thing I think about is the body rotting. So you're fucking
Correct.
yeah, you're fucking this rotting body that's just stinking. So I'm like, now I'm wondering, are you turned on about the smell, or are you turned on about the fact that this is a dead body? But at least the animal is like, it's moving. It's like technically, I don't know, but I'm gonna say animal.
But the only reason I would say corpses is because animals can't consent and corpses are dead. So at least like you're not like raping. You're not really raping. I guess you are raping a corpse. I don't know. Both are not good, but I'm still sticking with corpse.
I'm so mad that when you said if I'm dead, that's immediate consent.
Well, you're not alive to say no.
Okay, let's just move on because now I'm judging both y'all. Let's see. Would you rather watch your parents have sex or have your parents watch you have sex?
I've seen my mom have sex, so I feel like not a lot. Not that sounded really weird. I just mean like I've walked in on my mom having sex before, but I think it would like scar her for life to even see that I participate in queer sex. Like I think it would scar her for life. She found a condom in my car one time and cried.
Full stop. Does she know that you're gay?
Yeah, she knows I'm queer for sure.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, so I was like, whew, this just got deep. And then, Jahil?
Definitely watch my parents because I don't know. I just think I wouldn't even be comfortable with anybody else watching me have sex. So having my parents watch me, definitely on another level.
Okay. See, I would say, I'm definitely gonna say watch my parents have sex. At no point am I. No, I'm just not trying to have my mom. Mind you, so I'll tell you a story real quick. So how my mom first found out I was gay was me and this boy were having sex in his house. But we were both young and whatchamacallit. So she had come home. She had saw like an extra pair of shoes on the floor. Immediately she's like livid because like no one was supposed to be in the house, right? And then she runs upstairs just thinking that like he has guests.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so just thinking that he has guests over. But mind you, we heard her already. So we're already done. We're already jumping up. We're doing our thing. But she busts through the door. We're both like topless, putting on our shirts. And then, mind you, this is like the most ratchet black woman I've ever seen in my life. Like she looked like a bodybuilder. Like, and I'm like probably like 14. So I'm just like scared shitless. And then there's condoms all over the bed. Okay. So then like immediately she stops and she's like floored. Like what? Like she wasn't expecting that. You know what I mean? So she sees the condoms and then she's just like, what the fuck? And then she comes to me and then she grabs me by the neck. Okay. Mind you, I'm 14 and she's built like a beast. So like she grabs me by the neck and then just like starts throwing me out of her apartment or out of her house. And I like all I kept screaming was like, my stuff is in your house. My stuff is in your house. And she was like, I don't give a fuck. Mind you, it's like freezing cold, dead like center of the winter, and I have no shirt on. There's snow everywhere. I swear to God, this is a true story. And then she just like tossed me out of her house. So all I remember was walking for like a half an hour shirtless. Mind you, I'm like fat as fuck at this time, just crying, going down the street trying to find a payphone because because my little flip phone was still in my bag that was in her house. Cool. So now I finally get to a payphone, call my mom. She comes to pick me up. We get back to her house. I'm just like, Mom, this lady's like a crackhead, kicked me out of her house, blah, blah, blah. And so like she's livid, but I'm like, Mom, like just like let it be. Like don't make a big deal out of it, blah, blah, blah. All of a sudden now there's a phone call to my mom's phone from my phone. And it's his mom and his dad on the phone trying to tell my mom this story about how I was fucking her son. So like the entire time I tried, so the entire time I tried to dodge it, didn't work that well. So by the time like I started to realize, okay, she's going to find out today, I literally packed my bags and I jumped on the bus or the train and rode the train until when does the train stop? 2 a.m. Rode the train until about 2 a.m. and then took the Blue Night bus home and then went to bed. And then that was like the sweet, sweet moment of my mom. She came to my bed and she was like, I always knew you were gay. It's whatever. So.
At least it was a happy ending.
Yeah, but then like never mind. I'm not going to bash her.
We'll just say happy ending for now. We'll get into it later.
Exactly.
Okay, my question from that story though is you mentioned there were condoms all over the bed. How many condoms could there possibly be?
I mean, I don't know if he was trying to set a mood. I don't know, but there was condoms, like there was definitely at least like 6 condoms just spread out at the edge of his bed.
Oh, but like not open.
No, like
well, how much sex were you like trying to have?
No. It was like, you know, like when like you're going to a date house and he kind of just sets it up, just ready to go. That was the vibe. So like he just had condoms just ready to go. They were just there. They weren't open.
Good for him at 14. Look at him go.
Right, but he was trash and still is trash till today. Anyway.
So ahead of his time.
So ahead of his time. I agree.
No, because if he was ahead of his time, he would have been fucking wrong. He would have had PrEP invented from a long time ago. That's ahead of your time. Anyway, moving on.
Oh, we have some shit to talk about.
Would you rather get fisted with a handful of hot sauce or drink a gallon of cum? Sorry.
Oh. I feel like.
I'm gonna. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go for it.
I was gonna say I'm just gonna like dive right into this one, and I'm just gonna drink a gallon of cum because I feel being fisted with a handful of hot sauce would not only hurt, but if you had a tear in there, it would be excruciating. So I'm gonna say
this tear
gallon of cum.
Nice. Jay?
Yeah, I think I'd have to go with the cum too. Like I've never been fisted before, so I feel like getting fisted and then in the same time there's also like the hand is like dipped in hot sauce. Like I just feel like it would ruin my first time of getting fisted. So I feel like I guess I would drink a gallon of cum.
So y'all weren't ready for this question. I was ready for this question. So I I added multiple layers to this question in my mind. So the first thing that I thought of, well, there's absolutely no way anyone's going to get their hand up my ass. So I would pick getting fisted because I'm like, it's not going to work. Secondly, let's say it might have worked. I would have douched my ass out with many different, like, what do you call those things? Like numbing creams. Right. So then you would have fisted me, would have been done. But there's absolutely no way in my, I cannot, like, I can barely swallow the normal amount of cum that comes out of a man's dick. And then you want to say a gallon? No, not happening.
Okay, but listen, this is how I feel like Never Have I Ever goes. I feel like you are bending the rules a little bit. Never Have I Ever means, like, in my head, is like somebody comes up to you with a gun up to your head and is like, either I'm going to fist you with a handful of hot sauce or you drink a gallon of my cum. Like, you don't really have time to prep to get fisted with this fist full of hot sauce.
Let me tell you something about me. I'm a cheater at every game I play.
What's your fucking sign?
Virgo.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. I'm a Virgo, too.
Yep. I would still go with the handful of cum or handful of some hot sauce. So wait, let me see if there's anything else I want to ask. Would you be able to have sex between the hours of 6 and 4 or 4 and 6 a.m. for the rest of your life, or introduce every partner to your parent before you have sex with them for the next 4 years?
So I can only have sex between the times of 4 and 6 a.m.
Yeah.
Or I have to I feel like that's when I usually have sex. So that works for me. I'll do that one.
Wow. See, I remember that.
Okay, well, that is way too early for me. I cannot be up between 4 and 6 a.m.
Isn't it really late?
See?
Yeah, or really early.
Yeah, I guess.
So I guess I would have to introduce them to my parents.
See, I would introduce them to my parents as well because I'm like.
Would it just be like over FaceTime?
Sorry?
Would it like just be over FaceTime? You just have to meet like the parents over FaceTime and then you can fuck?
I mean, it's 2020, so I guess so.
Yeah, that seems a bit easier. Maybe I might do that.
Okay. So moving on. That was cute. I like that. So I do want to touch upon the current world issues, because like I told you guys in the past, I think it'll be a little bit rude for us not to, as obviously it is affecting our community as colored individuals and individuals of the LGBTQ plus community. So my first question to you guys is, do you feel affected by anything that's going on in the world today?
Yeah, I could go on for like days and days about all of the things that are affecting me, but I've recently been talking a lot to like young people about how protests can sometimes happen just through like people of color being happy when there's like awful things happening. And like usually I'm not an optimistic person. Like usually I'm the most pessimistic person in the entire world. But for some reason there's something about like protesting through like just doing like things that make you happy when everything is going to shit is something that is good for people to see sometimes, and for like young POCs to see. Mm-hmm. So that's like kind of what I'm doing right now to stay afloat. I feel like I can go down the holes of Twitter and of the news feeds and it all sucks. And I try to keep myself educated, but there's also like an amount of self-care that needs to come out of that as well, right? Like you just can't be completely always attacked by the news, because then you just like think that the world is hopeless and bleak, and that's not good.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that, of course, for us being people of color and also part of the LGBTQ community, like we have no choice but to be affected by it. Like, and whoever we talk to that belong to either of those that say that they're not affected are completely lying, because it's everywhere. It's all that we are kind of consuming in terms of like media wise right now. And I mean, the big thing, or the big takeaway from this kind of time that I want younger people and older people to kind of just take away from it is that it's fine. Like you can advocate for whatever you want to advocate, and you can, believe in whatever you want to believe in, but like if you don't do anything or you don't take action, such as like protests or just any sort of like, just to make it known that you actually give a shit about something, and you don't do anything for it, then there will never be any sort of change.
Interesting.
Right.
Interesting. Okay, so there was this big commotion about the protest in Brampton for the brown father that got shot by the cops. And for some reason, we as a Black community bashed that one Black kid that went to that protest because he went to a brown man's protest.
Did every Black person bash that Black kid for doing that?
He was dragged all over Facebook, Instagram, everything. So not everybody, obviously not everybody,
Right.
but there were a lot of people that were like Black that were like, dude, like, why aren't you at the Black Lives Matter movement? And to me, it's like, at the end of the day, that's a person of color. You know what I mean? And he is protesting for a person of color because that brown man, he got targeted the same way that we get targeted. So what's the issue with him going to a brown man's protest? Because I'm like, right. Well, what it was that they were saying, oh, brown people don't go to our protest. Well, that's kind of the reason why, because we allow ourselves, we segregate ourselves at the same time as much as people segregate us. And that can go to like the dark skin, light skin, all that kind of shit. We do segregate ourselves. But to me, that's a topic for another day. But yeah. I feel like
we'll have a lot to unpack there if we ever want to have this full conversation.
But I think the ultimate point is that it's about time that we fight for our rights. And I'm very happy to see that sometimes things are coming of it. And I'm very happy. What makes me the happiest to see is when people turned the Black Lives Matter movement into Black Trans Lives Matter movement. Because to me, that's been an ongoing problem for decades, mainly like in the United States, and no one has done anything about it. So that has made me proud, right?
Yeah.
But anyway, on a lighter note. On a lighter note, and I don't want to start this one. I don't know if you guys thought about it, but my first question for you guys is, or I guess I want you guys to give us a tip. Give me your number one sex tip of the week.
Okay. Well, I mean, I didn't really have a lot of time to prepare this one, but I guess my sex tip of the week would be just based on like another podcast that I actually was listening to not too long ago, and it was with, I don't know, some like really well-known like doctor that's like his specialty is everything to do like with your anus. So he actually said that it is not safe or it's not recommended that you actually douche with water, and that you're like, when you do that, you're actually kind of drying out the inside of your anus and like getting rid of all the mucus that's actually good for you. And then that in turn will cause actually more tears than anything. And then obviously leading into bigger problems. And on that note, it's also kind of like in conjunction that using wet wipes is also not a good idea for the same reason.
So wet wipes is removing what?
Just using wet wipes in general will cause anal tears.
So then, hold on, questions. When you say wet wipes, are wet wipes the same thing as baby wipes?
Correct, yes.
Because we've been using baby wipes on our babies for decades.
Yeah, but you use it on your babies, then you lotion the booty.
So then why don't you lotion your booty afterwards?
Oh, that's a lot of work.
Oh my gosh.
Do that every day.
I mean, if you can spend, I don't know what your, fiber intake is like, but if you, I'm assuming when you guys douche, it's not for 10 seconds. So
I'm sorry, you guys. Okay.
I don't put things in my anus, and when if there is something going in my anus, I'm about to shit on your dick. I'm just kidding.
Okay, that is top privilege, and I feel you need to.
I'm kidding. I've been fucked before, and hell yeah, I've douched. Are you what? I ain't shitting on shit other than a fucking bowl of water. It's not happening. What? You're not going to talk about me on Facebook. I don't get the day white thing. But now you can't just tell people not to douche with water and then not tell them what to douche with, unless you're saying don't douche, period.
Right. So I guess what he was also saying is like you're supposed to douche with like a special, I guess, saline solution or something, but just not with water alone.
So then basically when you, like, you know how you go to the store and you can buy the enema and it comes in that little pack?
Yeah.
You're talking about that saline solution in there. But what I'll say about that is that pack normally is like a one pump situation. So like if you push that shit out and you're not done and you need to go for round 2, you're fucked. Like, you're fucked. So basically what this sounds like to me is they're trying to fuck over the gay world, and they're trying to ensure that gays stop having sex.
Oh yeah, it's for sure homophobic.
Okay, no, because this doctor is gay himself. Like,
oh, Jen, so you know what that says, right? He has shitty sex. I hope this is not for Oz.
Anyway.
No, I think it's a great.
No,
I think it's a great
definitely
sex tip. I think it's a great sex tip. I think we really need to think about douching less. You shouldn't have to douche every time you have sex.
Sorry?
You shouldn't have to douche every time you have sex. It's very unhealthy for your booty hole.
So, if some browning happens during your sexual moments, you're okay with that?
Like, it's not the best. Like, it's never. To be honest, like, I am very much like I know when I can and I know when I can't. So like, if I know I can't, I won't do it. But I feel like my sex tip of the week would be like, there can't be shaming about shit happening. Because
yes, and I feel like that is when you can decide what kind of top is topping you. Do you know what I mean? Like, let's say, for example, I've been shit on countless times, as bad as that sounds, and I will never shame the guy, but like, I will tell you, like, I'm done. But like, what's disgusting to me is when the guy, like, not disgusting, but what surprises me normally is when like the guy just like assumes he can go shower or like douche again, and I'm still gonna want to fuck him. Like, no, we're done.
I'd still fuck him.
All I can, like, to me, I just feel like that shit smells just like the residue is just in my nose. I just can't.
Well, stop having sex with booty holes then.
I'm an ass man. I love me a pretty ass. Anyway, what was I gonna say? I had something to say about fucking. Anyway, fuck it. Jay,
what's your sex tip?
Mine?
Yeah, what's your sex tip?
Mine? Okay, my number one sex tip. I'm going off of my pet peeve. I hate when a bottom gives off the vibe like I want to fuck. So to me, it's like, I feel like bottoms should a little bit like have like practice spontaneity. Do you know what I mean? Practice seduction. Like, let's say, for example, if I invite my man over and he's a bottom and I can just tell that he came that day to fuck. Like, I understand there's a lot of prep that goes into it and he probably douched before he got here, but I don't want to know that like in an hour you plan on fucking. Like, let's build the moment up. So my sex tip is, guys, stop making it so obvious that you want to have sex. Let that moment build up. Because to me, when there's a build up to it, it's a lot sexier versus when it's obvious that you want sex, it now becomes a job. At least for me.
J-Ho, did you just hear that top privilege there?
Oh my God, I did. I'm sorry. This coming from the guy that literally just said, if the bottom, some shit happens and he's done, sis, which one is it?
I mean, no. Like, I get it. Like, you do have to prep, and like, I understand in your mind, you want to have sex. I get that, but don't tell me. Don't let me like, yeah.
Well, okay, but what guy is gonna come in and be like, okay, let's go have sex? Like, no, of course, it has to be a natural progression. But I mean, chances are, if a guy's coming over at the end of the night, yeah, y'all are probably gonna have sex.
I've been in situations where it's been very obvious that like this guy wants to have sex and wants to have sex now. And then, like,
that doesn't make you feel like attractive. Like, that doesn't make you feel like, oh, he really wants to get in my pants.
No, because my biggest turn on is spontaneous sex.
Fucking tops.
It's true. Like let's say, to me, it's so hot. Like, if you're like going to the movie theater and all of a sudden we're fucking in the movie theater bathroom. Like, to me, that's hot. You know what I mean? Versus just like all of a sudden you come to my house and somehow you made your way to my bedroom and I see you unpacking your condoms and your lube and shit. Like, I just can't. I just can't.
Like, I get what you mean. You want just a tiny bit of like, you want a little bit of a surprise. You don't want it to just be like,
for example, I'll give you an example. Let's say I go pee, right? And in that moment, or when I come out of the bathroom, you are on my bed in a jockstrap, laying there. That's sexy. Surprise! You know what I mean?
Okay, I'll fuck with that. I'll give you that one thing because I'm tired of your top privilege.
I guess.
Second that.
I guess. Okay, Jay, your turn.
I already said mine is shit. I said my sex tip of the week is shit happens, and that like there's no shame in it. Yeah, there can't be shame in it. There can't, like, I understand that it's like not the sexiest thing, but we also decided that we're gonna put our tongues in people's butts, and we've decided that like God did a really fucked up thing when he decided that every single person in this world is gonna smash pissers together and smash booty holes together.
Not true, because straight guys have to fuck something that blood pours out of.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying, like, isn't that so weird that it's like the only thing that like we can get each other, like, that's like a sex organ, is also the thing that we like exude body like fluids from.
I mean, you can easily just put the dick in the mouth.
But there's still fluids that come out of your mouth.
It's saliva. Who the fuck has you? What the hell? I guess. So you want a dry hole?
No, I'm just saying.
I don't think that's what he means.
Yeah.
I think he just means like the irony of it all is just it's interesting because realistically, wouldn't it just be nice if everybody just had like one designated extra hole where that's just what sex was and nothing else? Like that hole didn't provide like an extra function, like, you know, go into the bathroom.
Maybe we were meant to procreate, and that's why that's that way. I don't know. Again, deeper conversation. I don't know. Moving on. So one host story. Jay, I want to hear yours first.
A hoe story?
Let's make it good, please. Give me something.
Oh my god. Okay, I don't really have like a scandalous, crazy hoe story for the first episode. We're gonna have to wait for that one. But I will tell you like a quick little story that I had on a Greyhound bus.
Ooh.
So this is many, many years ago. Don't worry, no one gets decapitated in this story. But I was waiting in line to get into like a Greyhound bus. I was going from like Vancouver to Calgary or whatever. And I had spotted this guy in the line like adjacent to me. And obviously gays do this thing where like if you look for just a little bit longer, you guys just kind of have like this mutual understanding that, we want each other. And then I can't really remember who went in first, but that really doesn't matter. We got into the bus, and then obviously there was a bunch of open seats, but then he had already sat down, and then I sat right beside him, and I was like, oh, is the seat taken? Obviously it's not, because there's a bunch of open seats. And then I sat there, and then it was awkward for like, I don't know, a little bit. And then after we got going, like started to like kind of reach for my hand, and then we started holding hands, and then afterwards we started like touching each other, and then that was pretty much my whole story.
Like touching each other like with clothes on. Like over each other. I think if I remember correctly, our pants did get unzipped and we had our coats over top of it, so that happened, but then nothing else. Did anyone come?
Yes.
Oh, wait. First of all, so questions. Hold on. So I'm curious. So, where were you going on the Greyhound bus, and where were you coming from?
So I must have been going from Vancouver to Calgary.
Nice. Okay. And roughly how old were you?
Maybe 21.
So that wasn't that long ago.
It was
like 15, 16.
No.
I guess. Was he black? Was he white? What was he, Asian?
He was white. He had big hair. Then I found out later that he was in a band or like sang or something.
Like celebrity?
Not like celebrity is a very generous word.
They're going to Vancouver to Calgary. It's like on a Greyhound bus. They're probably not the biggest celebrity.
Could have been.
Yeah.
Yes. You never know. Are you done?
Yeah, that was my host story.
I love it.
That's cute. That's adorable, actually. It's not a host story. Like, to me, that would be like we should get married after this. Anyway, Jay, your turn.
Yeah, I was thinking about hoe stories. Everybody thinks I'm like this giant hoe, and I'm not that big of a hoe, but I'm learning to dabble in hoisms. I think the most recent hoism that I had was I have a friend that's on my dodgeball team, and at parties whenever we were hanging out before quarantine, we always found ways of like sneaking off, and like it was like one of these weird like slutty moves where like people know, like everybody knows what's going on, but you do it anyway, and everybody's in the house and they like all know why you both went to the washroom together, and you're just like, fuck it, I'm a hoe. in this moment, I'm going to the washroom with this person, and everybody's going to see me. They're going to know that I'm going to be on my knees, or he's going to be on his knees in that bathroom. So I'm really trying to unleash my inner hoe.
That happened to me once, and the worst part was I was in a relationship and I got caught. Anyway.
What's your hoe story of the week?
Other than that one that I just told you,
yeah,
mine is very similar, I guess. So there was one time me and my ex were kind of on a little break, and me and a few friends went to Detroit Pride, and we had a hotel room, all that jazz, and then in that process, like we all kind of just like met boys that we all thought were cute, invited them back to our hotel room to kind of chill, drink, all that kind of jazz, and then me and this one boy started to have sex. Mind you, the room is like full, so like everyone's there. And then two other guys started to have sex like right in front of us, and I felt bad because then my friend was just sitting at like the dining room table, just kind of.
Why didn't you invite them over?
You know, I kind of wanted to, because you can tell that my friend also thought the guy I was fucking was cute. So but I'm just like, no, because you're my friend. Like I'm not trying to like no, like Like if I'm gonna have a threesome, it's not gonna be with someone that I'm close with. Anyway, dude ended up shitting on my dick and all that jazz, so you already know how I feel about that.
The story comes full circle then.
Yeah,
I get it. I get your trauma, girl. Your little top trauma.
Mind you, I didn't notice at first. Like I think, did I notice? Somehow for some reason he got up, and then I think I don't know what he got up for. He probably realized and went to go wipe it off. But then I got up afterwards, and you know, hotel rooms, the sheets are white, right? So I got up, and then I noticed that the sheets were now brown. and then I'm like, I'm not the kind of guy to just be like, fuck you, you shit, blah, blah, blah. So like, I tried to play it off. I tried to like hide the sheet and then just pretend like I didn't want to have sex anymore. But
oh, that's actually nice of you. Like you didn't want to embarrass him.
Yeah, I'm not an asshole. Like, come on. I can be, but yeah, hey, tis life. The next one is called Oopsies. This one I'll start just because it's so recent and it's on my head. J-Ho, you already know, I already told you the story. So it's Oopsies, like a regret story for yourself. It could either be your number one regret, a recent regret, something. But mine would be, I was recently dating this guy. And for me personally, I completely just regret meeting him. He was a sweetheart. But as I kind of replay the situation back in my head, I almost feel like I was never given the opportunity. And I feel like, oh my gosh, you guys are going to say this is top privilege again. But anyway, so I feel like a problem that I have with bottoms is that while bottoms tend to show more love than the top, it's not real love to me. And the reason why I say that is because a lot of bottoms that I have met, like, I can show them affection, they can show it back to me. But the thing that I do differently, and I like to toot my own horn, but I think that from a good guy and a lame guy is that I show interest in who they are as a person. So I want to get to know you. I want to just know what you're about. You know what I mean? Know what your favorite food is, stuff like that. Know what your flaws are, know what your insecurities are, stuff like that. And as I play it back in my head, I'm like, I kind of knew this guy. You know what I mean? I knew his story. I knew all that kind of shit. And I'm like, this dude hasn't even asked me once how many brothers or sisters I had, what my favorite food was.
Right, but that's not all bottoms. That's just an asshole. He's just an asshole.
No, but the thing is, that's just what I'm used to, and that's typically the reason why me and boys don't end up going further is because I always end up feeling quote unquote neglected. Do you know what I mean? Because there's a mental stimulation that I get when I can see that someone is investing that time into getting to know me. Do you know
right.
What I mean?
So what you're actually saying is you just have bad taste in men.
I guess so. Anyway, let's go back to this boy. So we were together for I'm not gonna say every day, but we were together like pretty damn often during COVID. Sometimes I would invite him, sometimes he would invite me. Mind you, the first time I met him, this dude showed up to my house 3 hours late. But anyway, and then had me chase him for like weeks upon weeks. So like I would message him today, he would reply back tomorrow. And that's just what I had to go through for like 3 weeks when we first started talking.
Okay, well, red flag number one.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But when you kind of have a vibe with someone, you're just kind of trying a little bit. And then he ends up saying to me that the reason why he was being that way because he was hesitant, because a lot of guys don't want something serious. So he didn't believe that I was that serious. And the reason why I believed him was because once he believed that I was serious, that went out the window, and our communication was not fantastic, but he would actually reply. He would actually call me. He would FaceTime me, all that stuff. Okay. So then anyway, so now we're seeing each other pretty damn often. Sometimes he would invite me to his house, or I would ask him to chill, stuff like that. But it was pretty fucking even, right? We did get into our arguments, drunk arguments. But the reason why it's a regret story for me is because during our last argument, the last time I seen him, this motherfucker had the audacity to call me clingy. And he called me clingy to the extreme, like kept repeating it. And he was saying it like to like, it was like he wanted to stab me with his words, right? And I was just confused because I was like, at no point did I just like throw myself in your house. You know what I mean? At no point did I just throw myself into your plans. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're the one that invited me to the beach. You're the one that told me this. Like, and like, it was kind of like on an equal playing field. Do you know what I mean? So I was like, what the fuck? So by the end of it, the reason why it's a regret story for me is because I actually like this guy. And I feel like he was more so attracted to the idea of me versus me, which is kind of what I go through all the time, actually.
Right. It's hard being pretty black and muscular, you know?
It is. Unfortunately, it is. Like, and I say to guys all the time, like, let's say, for example, I'm on Grindr and guys just, oh, I like muscles and tattoos. And I'm like, you do realize that I'm not a slab of steak, correct? Like, there is more to me.
But is there really?
Sometimes, like, but like I don't know. I feel like that's the problem. I'm like, why don't people just care to get to know somebody? I'm not saying you can't fuck. I'm not saying you can't have your fun. You know what I mean? But I'm like, if you're truly trying to build something with someone, like, why aren't we friends? Why don't you know me? Why don't you know a single thing about me?
Right. Okay, so wait, let me stop you right there. And I'm just going to tell you right off the bat, because I feel like I have a bunch of friends right now that are going through kind of like a similar situation where it's like they're starting a new relationship. And when you start a new relationship, if there is a problem, like within the first month, the first couple months, like that is a major red flag, because that is the time that like everything should be completely perfect and rosy and everybody's in love and whatever, right? And like, from the moment that you thought that this guy wasn't even interested enough to ask you like how many brothers and sisters you had, like you should have been like, okay, well, what is going on here?
I agree somewhat, but I disagree at the time, because I'm like, we're not young anymore. Do you know what I mean? Like we're like we've all been through. Exactly.
So it's like, are you interested or not? Like, we don't have time to waste here.
But thank you. But then sometimes people do become a little bit jaded. So for me, it's like if a guy really likes you, he'll be willing to put up a little bit of an effort to like show you that he likes you, to see if maybe you will change. And then let's say, for example, let's say you're dating someone for a month and then you get into a big argument. You're just going to walk away?
Well, no, but realistically, and on average, in the first like a couple months is obviously what we all know as like the honeymoon stage, where literally they could like, I don't know, like fart in your mouth and it would be like, you know, obviously it would be an accident and you'd be like, oh no, like it's okay, you know?
Yeah. See, I guess I'm just different. To me, it's like, it doesn't matter if I was with you for a week. Like, it depends. Like if this is constant problems like every day, then yeah. But it's like, if you truly like someone, especially like if you two have a lot in common, you're going to clash. Do you know what I mean? So I'm like, to me, it's a telltale sign, or however you say, whatever that saying is, that if someone's just going to run over like an actual serious argument at the beginning, then that's the problem. Like, for example, yeah, go ahead.
I would just say like clashing is not a bad thing, but like arguing for me, I remember like my last boyfriend, like he, right in the first month, he was like, I don't really like your like the way you communicate. And I said, okay, well, this is how I communicate. And I only have known you for a month. So you're like, this is how I do it. And I'm not going to change it for you because I've only known you for a month. And he went, okay, that's okay. I guess I can handle it. And I said, well, if you can't, like, let's talk about it. He's like, I don't want to talk about it. Then a year and a half later, he was like, your communication skills are the worst. And I was like, I told you that the first month we started dating. So like, whose fault is it really? You know, like, I'm sorry I didn't text you back every hour. That's like, I don't do that. I'm not that kind of person.
That was not his fault at all. In my mind, that was your fault.
Why is it my fault? I told him the very first month that I'm very poor at texting. If you need to get a hold of me, call me. And then he wouldn't call me.
Well, that's well, ish. It's like, to me, it's like, okay, if it depends on your intentions. If you guys had that desire of like, I really like you, let's see where this goes, then you have to meet him halfway. If you know he likes to text, like, yeah, not 100% text, but if you know he likes to text, then yeah, maybe you should pick up your phone and reply a little bit.
Yeah, I just have extreme ADD, so I just forget. And I honestly just like, I feel like I get more, I just like don't want to know, like, hey, what's up? Not much. You? What are you going to do today? Not much. What about you? I don't know. Do you want to hang out later? Sure. Okay, cool. Like, that is so boring to me.
I get that. But I feel like in that situation, he had to do all the compromising and you did 0%.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm a Virgo. I shouldn't compromise.
What? Oh, don't say it because you're a Virgo, because I'm the king of compromise. I always meet people halfway, literally. Like, I'll even drive halfway sometimes if I have gas.
But I compromise, like, you compromise in different ways. I'm just saying that there's like, everybody's tried. Like, my mom's tried, my grandfather's tried. Like, everybody in my life has been like, you need to be better at communicating. You need to tell me where you are. You need to tell me these things. It's like, it's just not my thing. I'm just like an independent little fucking like bird. Like, I'm like fucking Nelly Furtado. I'm like a bird, like just wandering around. Like,
so funny. When I met you, I think I said the same thing. I'm like, you suck at texting.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not good at it.
That's so funny. Okay, I guess.
But then people get pissy because I'm on social media all the time. They're like, how are you on social media all the time, but you can't text me back?
That's fucked up.
I'm like, I don't know, girl. Get off my back.
That is fucked up. If you saw his message and you had the audacity to post a status, that's me.
Okay, but like, let's say you look at a text message, right? You look at a text message and they say something, and then you're like, oh, this is going to take a lengthy time for me to reply. Then you like exit out to like just check something else really quick, and then you forget, and then 2 hours later you've been through TikTok for an hour and a half and Instagram for a half hour. Then you go back, you're like, oh fuck, I didn't text you back. And sometimes you just forget all. I don't know. I don't have great memory.
In your defense, I've definitely been there where I'm like, okay, I'm gonna respond, and I respond in my head, and then, or I write the text, and then I will legit just forget to hit send, and that's the worst.
These are all shitty excuses, but whatever. I feel like I'm the softie of the group. Like, I'm the heartfelt one that's gonna be sitting here like, you're neglecting me, and you guys are just like, fuck off, get over it.
Yeah, I'm the mean girl.
Yeah.
I have no.
Okay, but you're the softie until someone shits on your dick, and then Jay, you're the mean girl that like just wants to be on TikTok and Instagram.
Yeah, and like, I also love like hugs and cuddles. Like, I'm not like the most mean person. I just like got a lot of trauma, girl.
Just because you want to hug and cuddle doesn't mean you're not mean.
I'm like a little teddy bear. I just have I have a couple of razors inside of me.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, moving on.
That's a cute analogy. I don't know why you didn't like that.
Because I just don't think like what you said was legit. Like, you're definitely at fault. You fucked with that boy, and poor boy probably now is just like, yeah, like fuck.
Oh, he hates me. Do you want to hear what he called me? I have it memorized. He called me an emotionally stunted gremlin with no capacity to live without my wardrobe of victimhood.
Ooh.
I know.
Oh shit, that's.
I'm gonna get to put on a t-shirt. I know. I'm gonna get to put on a t-shirt, I think.
You might want to just kill yourself.
Oh my god.
I've never heard someone go ham like that on something about that's bad. That's intense.
Yeah, it was good.
Oh,
he's a writer, so
that's
really good at writing things.
All right, so then today's topic is not safe for work, NSFW. Mind you, I got that off of Grindr. I didn't know what it meant at first. But apparently it means not safe for work. So how do you guys feel about nudes? Someone sending you a nude, you sending them. Mind you, nudes means videos, pictures, I guess Snapchat fucking shit. I don't know. Like, how do you guys feel?
If anybody ever sees my Instagram or my Snapchat, like, there's always photos on my story of my butt for my close friends.
But it's like a clothed butt.
Pardon?
It's a clothed butt.
Not always. Sometimes it's like side butt. Sometimes it's like full butt.
Full blown naked nudes. Like
spread eagle.
Yeah.
No. I'm not showing my booty hole on Instagram.
Not on Instagram.
No. I know. So I like to be naked to a certain capacity in sending photos. I really like people to tell me that I'm pretty. So if I have to get naked for people to tell me that I'm pretty, I might do it.
I'm done. Okay. Like, let's say, for example, you're talking to a guy and he goes, do you have any videos of you getting fucked? And you actually do. Would you send it?
No.
Oh, why?
Like I'm all fine with nudes, like pictures and stuff, fine, whatever, because I'm a firm believer. Like if you're talking to a guy, whatever, it's kind of like a preview of what you're gonna get. Obviously, I'm not gonna send, everything or all my best stuff right away. Like, no, you gotta buy it first. But what I'm saying is that like I think the videos and stuff like that's more like intimate. Like I'm not sharing videos of like me having sex unless it's like with you, the person that I'm having sex with.
Right.
Yeah.
See, I have no issues with asking a person, like, if you have a sex video and I ask, I'm like, why aren't you sending it? Like, why the fuck not? Like, what's the issue? Mind you, yeah,
I think there's just like there's certain places of like boundaries. Like for me, like I'm not sending dick pics left, right, and center. Like it's not my MO. Some people just love sending dick pics, and that's great. Like, but for me, video, when it comes to video, it's just it there's something about video that seems like people can use it for a lot of different things if
What about a
they have
picture
that.
of you having sex? Like, yeah, like a picture of you fucking someone or a picture of him fucking you. Like, what's the difference?
It's a great question.
And
But why are you so oddly specific about like it being like fucking or a video or like both? Like, can it just be just nudes like of you?
because you guys already said like you guys are okay with nudes, so cool. So let's move it on to the next step. So fucking. What else is there? Maybe even okay, or even a dildo. What about a dildo?
No, I don't use those.
Okay.
Really? At
Yeah,
all?
at
Good for you.
all. I don't know. I was just like, I feel like weird about them. I've never been a fan. Like, in the past, I've had guys been like, oh, like, let's use this. I'm like, I mean, I'm down, obviously. Like, I'm down for anything once. And like, I'll do it, but I'm not like, enjoying it or like having the time of my life. I'm probably thinking about like what I have to go get for groceries.
I love that. I find like during quarantine right now, like I have some of my best friends that I never thought, not best friends, but some of my friends that have always been in that like weird, like good friend party zone, those kind of humans, that have been like sending me nudes recently that we've like been like, it's like almost like a cock tease at this point. And now we're just like, like one of my friends just sent me a full on video of him and his boyfriend having sex. And I was like, oh, wow, I guess now I know what my friend of 2 years that I never have seen his penis before looks like when having sex with his boyfriend.
And were you disgusted, offended? What were you? Turned on?
No, it was, I think like because we've been so, like there's so much sex online, like there's so many easy ways of getting porn that I wasn't even like, it didn't even like shock me to see my friend fucking my other friend. Because I was like, oh yeah, like I just expected that they did that. So I find like
I think now in our day and age, we're so desensitized, especially in the gay community, which is good because like there's nothing wrong with it. But it just that's a great example of like if your friend sends you like, a video or a picture of them, you're not shocked. You're just like, okay, yeah, well, hot.
See, yeah, I can't do. A friend sending me a video of them fucking, no. But if we're talking, then like, yeah, like some guys get jealous over that shit. Like they don't want to see someone else fucking their man or the person that they're talking to. Not me. Like whatever. That's like it's a turn on. Unless
I love it.
Unless we've already been fucking, that's different. So if we've already been fucking, unless we're like sitting side by side and you're showing me videos in your phone or something like that to me is a little bit weird. But like if we're in that talking phase and you send me a video, it's kind of hot. It's kind of just like it's a tease.
Yeah, I think to each their own. Like, ask what you want, and like just have the consent and the chutzpah to say like no or yes if you want to. I don't know why I use the word chutzpah, but
fuck consent. If I say send me a nude, send me your entire camera roll. Like let's stop playing around. And that's another thing. Like I hate when I like send me nudes and a guy sends me one. Like what am I gonna do with the one?
Oh my God. Or what about, okay, back when I did use Grindr, this was like many, many years ago. I would hate it where it's like, okay, a guy will ask, like, okay, do you have nudes or whatever? Sure. I will always send like maybe maximum 3. And then I'm expecting 3 back, right? Like if I'm giving you like 3 very good ones and like
currency,
different. Yeah. Well, I mean, if I'm giving you like variety, and you come back with one and it's blurry or it's like I can't even see anything, I'm like, no, the transaction is now no longer valid. Like, you're wasting my time.
Yeah, I agree.
That's rude. I agree. I agree. What about unsolicited nudes? So like if you're on Grindr and all of a sudden you open up the message and it's like a dick pic or an ass pic.
Just the other day, I opened up a Grindr photo of a blank profile, and it was like literally somebody bent over on their bed, hands on both cheeks, spreading that hole as far as they possibly could, and I was just like, is this like, does this work for you? Like, do people actually like and maybe I'm not like slut shaming anybody for somebody to be like, yeah, come over, let me fuck that hole that you just showed me, but like for me, I just saw it and I was like, does this work for people? Like, they never even have to show a face, you just show your hole and like somebody comes over and fucks you.
That's how I think too. I'm just like, you realize that everybody has a hole and they all probably look like yours. So like, at least just show me your face and then show me your hole. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, I think the success rate of that is probably very, very slim, but I'm sure there's a demographic that will be like, okay, sure, send me an address, I'll be there. But whatever happened to just saying hello?
I agree.
I know.
Like, let's start there. But it's like, you know what I mean? It's not like just hello, but I'm also not like, I'm not gonna probably respond to just a dick pic or an ass pic or whatever.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I've seen enough dicks. Like, I'm not, you know, I'm not like taken aback that somebody sent me a dick pic. It's like, don't think that that's like the start of a conversation.
I agree. Okay.
Okay, guys. Well, like, how should we end this?
Catch us on Grindr.